Senator John McCain joins us in studio now. Senator, great to see you.
Great to be with you. And before we go any further, I got your tweet that you wanted me to bring you a snack. And both of you guys are in bad enough shape that I'm not going to... Please send campaign contributions to McCain so I can provide a snack for Mac and Gaydos.
Since we're giving out more unemployment benefits, we thought maybe you'd just like to buy some donuts.
The least I can do. I got some food stamps for you.
Man.
Go get it yourself.
So did you brought it? We tweeted you at the beginning of the show. We said, let's see if the senator is
checking out the old geezer. Yeah.
So you didn't bring us a donut or a treat or any ice cream? You stiffed us.
No, just eloquence.
All right.
Just eloquence.
That's a solid one. I like that. I like it. Hey, do you know who this kid Justin Bieber is before we get started with everything? This singer, this little kid he's coming in on Sunday. Do you have any pull? Can you give me some tickets? I think I have Bieber fever.
I have only heard of him vaguely, but
and that's all you need.
My daughter Megan, your idol knows all about it. Your enduring flame.
Yes. She does know all about him.
She's doing good. She's got a book coming out.
Tell her to come in.
So we've heard.
We'll have her come in. We'll have her come in for sure. She's doing great.
Hey, where do you want to start? Why don't we start with let's start with the unemployment bill.
Yep.
99 weeks if you are unemployed. You'll get this something like you start with 26, then 73 weeks from the feds. It could be up to 99 weeks. It cost $33 billion. It was added directly to the national debt. Senator, is there a way that we could have paid for this better?
Sure, we could have found. Look, the size of government has doubled in the last since 1999. We increased domestic spending by 20% last year. Of course, we could have found it. The president and the libs says, well, you're being cruel to people under unemployment. Look, we're being cruel to our grandchildren. We're being cruel to our grandchildren when we continue to spend trillions of dollars without paying for it. So all we had to do, look, we could have cut ethanol, and that's about $6 billion right there. I mean, look, anybody believe that ethanol is worth anything except subsidize rich farmers? But there's so many things we could have cut and paid for it and give people their unemployment insurance and their benefits, but pay for it. When do we stop the spending? Well,
that's what we want to ask you. When does the economy collapse and we're in trouble?
I don't know when, but I know whether. And that is, obviously, it's going to happen if we continue the spending spree. It is staggering. You know, my favorite bumper sticker lately says, please don't tell President Obama what comes after $1 trillion. I mean, really. I mean, it's $13 trillion debt. $1.4 trillion deficit this year. The numbers are staggering. And it goes on. It doesn't stop. And again, for all of our listeners out there that think we Republicans are cruel to those who are unemployed, one, we wanted to take care of the unemployed, but we also want to take care of our children and grandchildren.
Right.
And if we can't find the money and cut the budget in order to provide them with their benefits, then we have a different version of the federal budget than I do.
And the thing that bothers me the most, and Gaydos and I have talked about this, is that once you grant that length of time, how do you go back to 6 months? How do you go back to 8 months? How do you tell people, hey, I'm sorry, even though you're still without a job, we've got to cut you back? Once you can't unring that bell.
That's right. And
so when do we cut back? When we're broke?
I don't know. But, maybe next January when we have a new Congress. But, again, once people become accustomed to an entitlement program, it builds up a constituency, and then you can't roll it back. The thing that's bothersome so much about both Obamacare and the financial reform, quote, reform bill, which is a joke, is that you're giving massive power to bureaucrats to write regulations. And those regulations are very hard to stop. That's really the legacy of Obamacare in this financial. They're both over 2,000-page bills. You know, we're just finding out about Obamacare. Every small business person that does a transaction of $600 or more has to report it to the IRS.
Right.
Now, what do you think that does to the person in this building that has 3 employees and buys a couple of computers. He has to get a tax number from the big guys. He has to fill out a form. What does that do to small businesses?
Right. Why does he need all that information?
One of the biggest problems of the American economy today is the unsurety of the business community and people who want to invest, and they don't know what the future is. Are we going to extend the tax cuts, which we should? What are the regulations coming out of Obamacare and financial reform? What are we going to extend the tax cuts, or which ones? I mean,
Bernanke wants to extend them, but Geithner says no, just keep them especially in for the rich.
And so
those two are infighting.
I'm not a fan of either one, but I'm with Bernanke on this one.
Right.
But I mean, why would we want to increase anybody's taxes at this particular time? And by the way, the estate tax right now is 0. Okay? And on the 1st of January, it goes up to 55%.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I think that there could be a huge number of unexplained deaths of mothers-in-law around December 31st.
Oh, we've said that. We've actually brought that up.
We have. The weird thing was when George Steinbrenner died.
Yeah, Steinbrenner. Yeah.
Yeah. This was kind of brought up. You know how much money his
family's going to save by him dying this year.
We need to find out the cause of death.
He's smart in life and smart in death.
Was there an autopsy?
Yeah, really.
And I even brought my grandmother into the situation. My grandmother's 98. My grandmother, my grandfather was a doctor. They had some money. She still has money. Is half of that going to go to the government?
If it's January 1st?
If it's after January 1st, if she passes away next year.
I just came from a town hall meeting over at Arrowhead in Glendale. People are hurting in a way they never have before, and they're angry and they're frustrated, and the good news is they're now politically involved. There was maybe 120 people crammed into a rather small room over there, and I guarantee you 100 of them had never been to a town hall meeting before. They are mad.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going out of their way to get to these meetings now.
And they're going to vote, and they're active, and they're Tea Partiers, and you're going to see an election the likes of which that we have. The only thing I could compare this to roughly is the 1980 election when Ronald Reagan swept out Jimmy Carter and all the liberal Democrats.
But Joe Biden says, you know what? Don't count the Democrats out. But we've heard Joe Biden make some other gaffes as well.
Joe is the gift that keeps on giving.
Yes, he is. That is true.
Senator McCain's joining us in studio. Let's get to what you just called a joke of the finance reform. The one thing that I thought was silly, and maybe this was in the 2,000 pages or whatever. There was nothing about Fannie and Freddie, and I thought that Fannie and Freddie got us into this mess.
Fannie and Freddie were the catalyst. We tried in 2006 to get legislation through to rein it in because predictions were made by a lot of smart people, including an investigative report. It's outrageous. I proposed an amendment, the first amendment on the financial reform, to phase out Fannie and Freddie over 3 years from being government-sponsored enterprises. It was defeated. And the reason they said, well, it's such a big problem, we're going to have to address it separately. The second thing is, Gaydos, is that the whole object of this exercise was to make sure that no institution was ever again too big to fail. Mm-hmm. Now these institutions are bigger than ever.
Yeah.
They're bigger than ever. I mean, we should have gotten them out. If they want to do regular banking, fine. Let's insure the deposits. If they want to take flyers and make all kinds of investments, fine. Do it on their own dime. We didn't do that. We didn't do that. And so again, a 2,000-page something or other, and they're going to have there's an office here called Consumer Product Administration and Consumer Protection Agency part of it. That's going to put the hands of the authority and power in the hands of an unelected bureaucrat.
But they think they're doing good for the consumers, where actually we'll be paying for more services through banks and through other financial institutions because they say that's what we need. We're sick and tired of hearing what we need.
The financial collapse was not because we didn't have enough regulators.
Right.
It was not because we didn't have enough regulators. They didn't do their job.
Right.
And that's what the problem is. And Fannie and Freddie violated a fundamental principle. And by the way, my friends, they were the ones that were in the home loan mortgage business. I know that our listeners understand that. But they were violating a fundamental principle. Never lend money to someone who can't pay it back.
Yeah.
They were giving loans to people they knew
they were pressured.
Could not pay it
Everybody
back.
needed to live the American dream. They were pressured to give away money.
That's right.
Senator, last one for you.
Sure.
SB 1070, is it going to start July 29th? What are you hearing?
I believe so. I believe that I happen to believe it's constitutional. My friend John Kyle, who, as you know, is a lawyer and very well versed in these issues, believes so. I'm curious and eagerly awaiting the suit that's brought against the city of Chicago for being a sanctuary city in violation of U.S. immigration laws.
That's a great point that we brought up too. San Francisco.
Rhode Island has the same kind of law. Nobody's saying anything about Rhode Island.
Listen, I also believe that starting this fall, you're going to see other states enacting laws like this one.
Well, all their eyes are on us. They're waiting to see what happens with us.
Well, I wish that the Justice Department would spend some time helping us enforce the border, and programs such as Operation Streamline, where we incarcerate people who cross our border illegally for 15, 30, 60 days and do that. But I really believe now, and I hate to say this to you guys, this is all political.
Oh,
this
absolutely.
is all a play for the Hispanic vote in future elections, and it's, to me, outrageous that we are playing with the lives and security of our citizens. And for those who keep saying, and I won't mention who it is, that everything's fine down on the border, you're wrong.
Oh, yeah,
Look
there's no
at
doubt.
the violence that's taken place. Look at the car bomb that just went off in Juarez, Mexico, across the border from El Paso. That's what happens in Baghdad, my friend.
Right.
Car
Not here.
bombs.
Not supposed
car
to.
bombs. So, it's not that bad, and,
It's bad.
It's really bad.
And the violence is up in a fashion that makes it a national security issue. So, look, let's see what happens, but the American people are on our side.
Senator John McCain, thank you again so much for stopping in. Always good to see you.
Keep tweeting. Keep tweeting.
We will.
Thanks, Senator.
All right, thank you.
Mac and Gaydos on News Talk 92.3 KTAR.
Where the Valley stays in touch.